All right, so let's talk about mindset. Here's what I want to talk about mindset. Right now, we are behind the scenes working on a little crazy project that we're gonna be working on. I'm not telling anybody what it is, not even giving like a hint of a tease, but you know what it is, okay? And when I laid it out for the whole team, everybody was like, oh boy. He's giggling because it's true.
G2's giggling right now. You can't see it. You can't hear him. Oh boy. Like, that's awesome.
How are we ever? Oh my God. This is going to be so much work.
This is so cool.
This hill is so big to
This
climb.
is amazing.
This is amazing, right?
No, you're saying different words than I am.
Nobody said it's amazing.
Nobody said it's amazing.
No. G2 did text me over the weekend and said, I'm super excited, but it takes a little while to marinate.
Yeah.
But
they were stunned?
Stunned. And
is that right, G2? Look at G2 sweating.
The reason I want to talk about this is because I think an earlier version of me would have thought the same thing.
Yeah.
But I've learned this lesson from being here and through you setting crazy ass goals, and I want to talk about that because and then I recorded a video for the team. I said the next day I slept on. I said, okay, look, I realize everybody's freaked out, but I want to explain this because I want to explain that if we let the fear of how big this thing is going to be, we will never ever get started. And I said you can use this analogy for everything we've done at Drift, right? Think back to where we were a year ago or 2 years ago, right? If you looked at the goals for that year, you always unveil the company goals, and if everybody there was just, I think too often people get paralyzed by where you have to go, as opposed to taking the next step. And the analogy I said everybody is worried about what's going to happen on mile 24 of the marathon when we haven't even run mile 1 yet.
Totally.
And I didn't used to think that way, and I wanted to you to share some wisdom on how you get yourself to think that way.
I love that.
And I think it's related to
people weren't excited and weren't thinking it was awesome. And weren't just high fiving in the room.
We can't wait.
Let's do it. They were stunned.
Stunned.
Yeah. It's typical, right? It's to be expected. I think mindset's super important thing. I think we've talked about in the early episodes. We talked about a book called Mindset by Carol Dweck. Good book, a little hard to get through, but it's a good book. But mindset is so important, and so that's why we do things like when we set these big, hairy, audacious goals, BHAGs, like you just gave them. It's important for the people to come in with the right growth mindset, right, and think about how would we do it? Suspend disbelief for a second. How would we do it? And too often we get caught up on, I don't have the right thing, I don't have the right setup, I don't have the right climbing gear, I don't have the right thing, I can't do it, I can't. Instead, you got to turn that mindset around to having this, how can I do it? How could we do it?
How could we do it?
Yeah, let's start from scratch. Let's suspend disbelief. Let's assume that we could start from scratch, that we have infinite resources. How would we do it? Now, if we constrain it, how would we do it? And that's how all the great things that any of us achieved and that we've achieved so far in these early days so far have come from suspending disbelief.